Hey everybody, it's EJ.
It's Pete. What's happening?
Hey man, this is our podcast, man.
Educated podcast, man. What topics we got today?
Yo, we got a couple, man. The first one is gonna be BTS. There's a BTS situation that's happening. That's just one of them, man. We're gonna go into deep with it, really deep. The next one's gonna be the situation with TK. He's on a run. Is he a murderer? Is he not a murderer? Also, what the fuck is up with these hurricanes?
Every 5 seconds, it's a new hurricane.
There's a damn hurricane, man. Let's go ahead and jump right in it. So the first one we want to talk about, if you haven't heard, is the big BTS situation, right? So there is Lee, the CEO, pretty much was going to say, well, since for a year, if you haven't heard, it's a situation of saying, hey, if you don't release this information, I'm going to tell everybody, including the army, all about it. And what was interesting is he requested it was equivalent to $291,000. So at the end of the day, it's crazy, right? Because you have somebody saying, we're the biggest group at this time, they've done something wrong. And it's a marketing type of situation, which we're not really familiar. They're definitely saying it could be a hashtag situation. It could be like something, but I mean, it's kind of unbelievable, when you think about it.
And I personally feel BTS is a big enough group, which, they're like one of the biggest, K-pop groups out there. So for them to really, I guess, for him to say, hey, you guys have to cheat to really gain some kind of success. Of course, when you're successful, it's going to be somebody that's always going to try to bring some stuff down.
Yeah, they're going to find that loophole some type of way.
I guess that's just one of the things that you got to deal with. Now, that's the equivalent of like somebody saying like, hey, Drake, you getting all these number ones, you know what I mean? You gotta be cheating to do that or to have these number one or
But then they said Drake was cheating, right? Because they said that he wasn't writing his stuff.
Well, yeah.
So it's like somebody, for people to be famous in some type of way, there's some type of formula that is done. Who's to say that's ethical or not ethical? Right. Or maybe it's a situation that they found out that wasn't necessarily considered wrong at the time until somebody pretty much exposed her. Somebody thinking ahead of the curve, right? This could be that situation, or this could be a situation to where this person is completely lying. And what's so interesting, reading the report, the person was like, okay, he said that we need to pay him this money. We just going to go to the cops. And then we're going to issue an apology, and that's like the end of it, right?
Right.
So they believe that he didn't pretty much have anything, or it doesn't even matter, But it's crazy because why would you issue an apology if you know you didn't do anything wrong?
Right. Well, it's just that bad, that bad stigma, how it looks to the fans. Fans, they're just at that kind of lower level. They're just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You got this company over here saying this guy over here saying this. So it's like complete damage control. Let's just apologize for the shit. Worst case scenario. And, just keep it moving, sweep it under the rug, PR that shit. Watch BTS fucking drop a new video and
just call it a day,
everything's going to be cleared.
And if you haven't yet, check out our videos, man, that we actually reacted to a lot of BTS through our learning from the beginning to, like, actually being fans right now,
Not today, fool.
Yep, not today. Also, man, just jumping another one is TK. TK is a guy who's charged with murder charges. How you feel about that, man? Charged with murder, came out with a song On the Run.
Right.
You check it out.
Yeah, so TK whole thing, he's a 16-year-old kid, from he's born in Long Beach. He's from Texas somewhere, Fort Worth maybe. And killed somebody, or allegedly killed somebody.
Charged an adult, right? He's charged as an adult at this point.
Allegedly killed somebody, went on a run, made a video about it.
Made a video
while he's on the run. I guess if you're going to be on the run,
to it.
You might as well make a video.
We reacted to it, so check our reaction of that video.
Word. So yeah, he did that, and which is a kind of crazy move when you actually think about it. Like, you know what? Instead of actually worrying about hiding, I'm gonna just put my shit online. Now, if he's like, yo, I'm gonna sell this song, and since I'm already effed, I'm gonna sell the song and maybe give somebody else some money, which it'll probably be confiscated anyway because the FBI and all that shit, they don't play that shit.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of crazy to see a kid like that Well, first of all, that being glorified because it's on the Billboard charts right now.
It's on the Billboard charts.
So that's
a big thing.
That's just showing that the kids like, hey man, if you do something drastic, or if you're allegedly do something drastic like this, you can be on the Billboard chart. So how much worse does the shit have to go? Like, where's the slippery slope end up? Does a school shooter go shoot up a school, or does a terrorist come and just fucking make a song after he done?
Man, I feel like this shit's fucking stupid. People. Why the fuck are you even caught up in this shit? And then on top of that, you're gonna make a video about how you're on the run.
What do like kids have to do?
How much do you love your career to be in jail behind bars the rest of your life? You feel what I'm saying? It's like, but the thing is, you gotta look at it like this in an intellectual or an educated point of view, right? Why would you? Okay, say if you didn't do the crime, right? Listen to the lyrics. What he's saying, where he's saying, "I'm a shooter," and he's having all these guns. A judge is gonna look at the information and say, "Well, you know what? They are saying this. How about we do research on this?" Remember that when FBI comes in, they have up to 3 years from that time. So what that means is they can do research of everything that you've done. You didn't say you didn't kill on the track. Now they're able to do the research of you killing on the track. Then everything that you just said, like whether it's about dealing drugs or whatever, they can do research on it. So by you saying this, you know, and the judge you're already convicted as an adult. So he has some type of idea of you might have done it. Right. What's going to happen is he's going to take this when you're on a run and say, well, if he's dumb enough to make a music video, well, then he doesn't need to be on the streets. And also for him to say, like, I'm trying to beat the case, so I just ran. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of showing you, are you a good citizen of society? You know, whenever you look at the information, you're holding all these guns and all your friends are doing it. Now, if the judge would look at this, hopefully, whatever. But now they're assisting the crime. Because how can you make a music video with your so-called friends? Right. They're in the video, right? And they know that you're escaping because they made a video about how you're escaping, right? So then they're going to be assisting to the crime, which is a crime in itself. Right. So you're helping a criminal escape. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be interesting kind of seeing that part of it. But overall, man, a 17-year-old male, a black male, who was doing all this, holding these guns and everything else while he's making these music videos, I mean, yo, it's not going to look good for him, man. I wish the best, but this is one of them situations where it's like, no mistrust. It's like, well, you have the evidence here. You know, obviously you have some guns. You know, they don't have red caps on them, so they're not fake.
And people always say, like, how, like, oh, they can't use it in court and all that shit like that.
Yes, they can.
I mean, they're seeing you talk about these things, hearing you talk about these things. Now they know who to get.
But who said they can't use that on court?
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, no, they can
people
use
say,
everything in court
and yada yada yada.
Yeah,
but I mean, all right,
that's a public record.
Say even if they couldn't use it in court.
Yeah.
But if you saying you got these guns, now they know who to tap. Yeah. They know who to go follow. So say, you know, they just following you one day, they happen to pull you over.
I'm tripped out that you can't use it in court. Like, who says in law that you cannot? Let me know down below. But
it's probably some kind of law. Well, at least
there's not a law, because if you record something on YouTube, which is a public domain, it's like on Facebook. If you put something on Facebook, it's a public domain. They can take whatever they want and use it. Like, this ain't no, like, well, you know, I made this for myself, I can't use it. Like, that's not how that works.
I mean,
if you think that, you can go ahead and do that.
Like,
look at all the
evidence,
artists.
I don't know.
Look at all the artists that they've had videos, and they had a gun in it, and they went to jail from possession. You can go to jail for it. Don't get it twisted.
I think they say rap lyrics. You can't use rap lyrics. But then in futures, I don't know. I don't know the exact because that doesn't really speak on it. But just looking from a common sense standpoint, it's
you can use up their words to up to 3 years. That's why you hear like Jay-Z back in the day. He wasn't talking about certain things that he did if it didn't pass for 3 years. Right. Because FBI have up to 3 years.
Limitations, like
exactly. So if you really do your research, man, before anybody tells you anything. Because, yo, these people can use anything in court. I mean, hell, you know, whenever NWA, what was it? They went into court for what they use in music videos and rapping. They used that. You feel what I'm saying? And they kind of got lucky that they got out. So for this guy to do this, don't know who he's following, what he's trying to do. But this isn't one of them situations where it's like, you know, he's going to jail for domestic violence. This is a murder charge, which is like, you might not ever make it. Or if you make it out, he's 17 right now, he'll probably be out like, what, 47, 57?
Yeah, I mean, that's a long ass time.
That's a long ass time, man. You getting out like just shit over over trying to be cool or doing whatever you had to do while you were in this situation, right? So all I know is, man, it's kind of sad seeing like a little boy go down, especially when you're fighting for certain rights and things like that. That kind of like pisses me off, like low key. Also, what the fuck's up with these hurricanes, man? There was a hurricane in Houston. You know, my sister, she lives in Houston. Definitely hearing her talk about it, it flooded a lot of stuff. So shout out to Houston. Shout out to Trey the Truth, the rapper out there who's helping out left and right and showing what he's doing. It is a state of emergency out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are donating, not directly to the Red Cross, but they're donating. So that was the first one, right? Now it's Hurricane Harvey. Now we're looking at Hurricane Irma, and we just don't know where the fuck it's gonna go. Like we don't know if it's. We know for a fact
Harvey,
it's gonna
Irma,
fuck up. It's gonna fuck up Florida. We know that. But other than that, we don't know if it's gonna mess up Texas again, or we don't know if it's gonna go somewhere else. And to top that off, there's another one on the other coast that's about to hit San Diego.
It's just hurricanes all over the place. Now, could this be, global warming? Is it, is it a big ass coincidence? Is it conspiracy theory? Is something going on? Like as far as that goes, I don't know. I actually haven't been following too much of it because I'm just like, I mean, it's cool to know what's going on in the world, but it's just too much shit when it's like you got other personal shit going on, and then it's like hurricanes and shit you got to deal with.
Hurricanes
like,
randomly.
I'm not even.
But man, but if you look at it like this, man, it's like there's something called HARP. If you ever look it up, so HARP, they're able to make weather things happen, right? Whether it be a hurricane, storm. The thing about it is they can make it, but they do not know how strong it's going to be. So they can make something with weather, but they don't know how big it's going to be. So it's kind of funny that we have, we're damn near about to go to war with Korea. And all of a sudden, these hurricanes all of a sudden pop up out of everywhere. You feel me? Like week after week, I swear there's a hurricane. And somebody was telling me in Houston,
and it's really like they've really fucking.
In Houston, they were having like tornadoes, and then it's affecting California because it's hot as fuck. And then the gas prices are going up. And come to find out, I just wish that Houston isn't hit again because this is a humongous thing that's happening, man.
Right. It's just I don't really know what to make of it as far as like the actual root causes to why
the shit all fucked
and
up.
weather changes are happening.
I say fucking global warming. Like goddamn, 3 of them in a row. I mean that's really ridiculous.
I mean, shit, and
that's not global warming. I don't know what it is.
To me, it seems like it's affecting more like lower income
people. Isn't that kind of interesting? How
it's like Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans, all the fucking. Projects or whatever, they got tore up, and then I don't know if it's like the.
Let us know down below if you feel like it's affecting lower income, right?
The lower income people are getting the worst of it because the richer people can get out, or is it affecting everybody, or is it just
what's going on? Because I swear when I'm watching it, it's like
you just see motherfuckers like
just.
It was one girl, she was cursing out the CNN news anchor because they was asking questions, and I mean she was answering for a little bit, and she was like, well. Like, nigga, we didn't eat. Like, you up here asking me questions, and I'm fucking, like, my kids are cold, and they wet, and we ain't eat, and you asking us questions. Like,
and that's kind of, like, it's kind of messed up how, like, they ask them all these questions.
Sticking a big-ass mic in their face. It's
like, here, talk. It's like, yo, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to survive, and my kids. And it's kind of like, and that's why I don't like some of these reporters, because it looks like they're getting a little bit too disrespectful. Well, how do you feel? Well, damn, do you not see that they're homeless? How are they supposed to feel?
How you think I feel?
You feel me? Like, you're going to give me some food? Where you living at? Right? Is your house affected?
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy because a lot of these reporters look like they weren't affected, but they're talking to people who were affected. And you're just not letting them live life, which they should come up with some laws around that.
Trying to do your job and shit. Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, I don't know, because like you would want the news to be able to tell what's going on, but then you don't want to really cross that line of like, disrespect, and then it's also a thing where it's like a white lady, that can also play a little dynamic where you feel like, why is this white lady keep asking me all these questions?
Like, I'm just surprised they letting them, like, they're not at a point where they just slapping people, because I feel like you get to a point where somebody asks you,
she ain't got nothing else,
questions, you ain't got nothing to lose, just like, yo, don't ask me no questions, I'm slapping you straight up. Like, it's funny how it's not to that point yet, right, where people still have their humanity. So that tells you a lot about what Houston represents. But I mean, to be honest, it might be cleared up a little bit, but the other one might hit them, and also on top of that, it's gonna take them years to rebuild. Because my understanding, I think 80%, 88% did not have insurance. If I was right, or let me know if I'm different, if it's a little different. But they did not have it, so it's crazy.
You can't plan for a hurricane. It's like
you can't, especially if it's hot as fuck in Texas, and it's not even it's just flooded. So then you hit hurricane, it just got flooded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting.
Thinking like, oh, this is it's Texas. I'm out here. I'm chilling.
110.
I ain't expect. I mean, worst thing could happen, some rain. Worst thing could happen. Maybe a tree could fall on my shit.
Maybe.
And then a fucking hurricane just comes hit and sweeps out.
It's like, is that even in my policy for that to even be covered?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, hurricane, no. And then they're voting. I think they already passed to not have water damage as a part of the policy too.
Oh, well, just as this
shit happens. Just as this happens, right?
We don't really want to pay this shit. Warren Buffett probably like,
yeah.
Nigga, I'm not trying to pay.
And also, have you heard about the DREAM Act? What's happening with that?
Nah.
So basically what happened is, so there's this DREAM Act. Check it out, y'all. This is just a bonus one right here. So Donald Trump and all of them, they're looking at this information, and they're seeing if they want to let go of the DREAM Act or pretty much shoot the shit. Pretty much what it is if anybody is coming over, they just have to do a couple of things, pretty much like go to school, pretty much be a cool person, as in like don't have any legal things as killing people and things like that. And if you're a kid, pretty much go to school, be here more than 5 years, don't have any criminal records, things like that. So there's a couple of other things you got to apply for it. But what's happening is if this bill is turned down, a lot of people will be sent back, right? So what this does is it's giving them an opportunity to actually come over here and be successful. But if they get rid of it, they're just pretty much going to have to figure out another way. And then all the people that are here, which is messed up, it's already documented that they're already here. So are they going to send them back? What are they going to do with them if it is turned down?
Right. So it's like if you here and you ain't being productive, we're sending you the fuck back.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it was already like that. It was already like one of the regulations is if you
especially
do
if you
something,
catch
if you catch a case, it was supposed to be, we'll send you back. But then again, when you really look at it, they probably wasn't enforcing it as much. You know what I'm saying? But now they're trying to say, yo, we're just gonna get rid of it. So there's a lot of like illegal immigrants, or immigrants in general that are over here that are being affected by that. So then it's kind of like, well, what do you do with them? You know what I'm saying? Who is the real problem? What is the problem? And well, they're trying to pretty much make it to where like nobody can just come over here, which
Trump just trying to follow through on the shit that he was talking about.
Pretty much
making those promises to the people who he says he's gonna make the promises.
Yeah, he's trying to fix it, man. So I mean, what do you think about it, man?
I mean, as far as of course, if you over here illegally, the least you could do is try to do something, productive. Like if you over here illegally and then you fucking up and going to jail and all this other kind of bullshit, then it's kind of like, all right,
I mean,
maybe you might, maybe this might not be
this ain't. It's like a foreign. This just ain't the right place for you.
It's
right.
It's
not here though, but
we love us, or it's not you.
It's us.
It's just us.
It's just our culture. You just not. You're
just not fit to be here. Yeah, so maybe you'll be better suited over there.
So I get that, right? But then it's like taking it away is fucked up because you're not really giving them a chance. But then it's like, is it for us to give them a chance? And another thing to think about is if people came over here and they weren't even in it, and now they're upset about it being taken away. Are people upset because they relied on the government so much? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like,
the government can just...
If the government... That means you relied on the government a little too much, right? Or some people just wasn't taking care of their business, right? For them to be sent back if they were already under this. Now, it's sad because if they take this away, you really ain't going to have even that to be legal. You feel me? Because now they're saying if you do this, you become legal. Now they're saying, we're not going to even have that. You just have to be born on the soil and that's it. And there's a lot of people who had kids on the soil, right? So their kids are legal, but they're not. So the parents, so then that becomes a interesting thing because they're sent back. And also the people who've been in school not that long, they get rid of it, they're going to have to be sent back too.
Right.
So it's like, is that good or bad? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to be good for the economy, bad for the economy? Like, what's going on? It's a lot.
It's a couple different ways. It just depends on, what your, I guess, personal perspective is. Some people can be like, hey, we got people living illegally, but they're, eating the fruits of, tax money, all that type of shit.
And that's one thing that bothers me, right?
They may not contribute to that, but then they get to stack all that money. I'm like, shit, if I was leaving tax free, shit, I'll
give you an example, man. Like, if anybody ever
taking my shit every day.
Go to the food stamp office, like real shit. If you go to the food stamp office, it is so hard to get it. So hard to get it. But it's interesting, right? Because you can't get it, and you've been paying taxes every damn time, but your check is like $200 taken out. You're like, damn, 200, 200.
I wish
200, 200. And that's lowballing, right? That's lowballing. It's a lot more that's taken out to be given to people, right? But then again, it's like somebody else can come over. And then just
not pay into that,
and then just come over with kids, and then boom, and be able to have more than you. And the only thing you're doing is you're just trying to survive, and you can't even get it because you can't say, well, what about the couple of years I paid? Can I get that money back to get me back so I can go ahead and like get on my feet? And they'll tell you no, but the other person who may have kids or whatnot, they're gonna say yes because you need to get started. Or in a lot of cases, what people do is they have children. And the more children they have, the more food stamps and assistance that they can receive. So it's that. I don't feel like that's right. But I mean, it's interesting because I can see, I'm very mutual because I can see on both ends how it's not fair, but is it fair? You feel what I'm saying? And that's one of the things where I've had to myself really think about, like, as far as this Dream Act. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair. If everybody was paying, it'd be fair. It'd be fucked. But if nobody's paying, if I'm paying, he's paying, and other people aren't paying, that's not fair, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we're gonna all enjoy this freedom, let's all enjoy tax or just not pay tax in general. Yeah. Right. That's just how I feel about it personally.
Right. So I mean, it's different ways to look at it.
Yeah, man.
It all depends on perspective. But
let us know how you feel, man. This is just what we think,
it's our thoughts,
our thought process, man. But let us know down below what you think about. We are gonna read each and every one of them and definitely respond to it, man.
Word, man.
This is our new segment because we wanted y'all to see what we actually think from our educated point of view, man.
Word.
To Educated Guys. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe and like our shit.